Hi, it's Krista Strayer. So good to see you guys here today on this week's Facebook Live session, our little conversation, and good to have a few of you online with me, and great to see you, Lisa, and a few Carmen, a few others. Excellent. Feel free to write your comments in the little box as we go along, or write your comments afterwards. If you're watching the recording, you can still add your comments into the box below. So I have got a super exciting announcement for you, and we're going to save that sixpence for a little bit later. But today's topic is three easy ways to start an exercise program and do it every day. All right, and exercise is one of those we all know we should do it, but why don't we do it every day? And it's often the first thing that comes up when you think about wanting to be healthier and getting rid of some stress and so forth. Exercise is one of those things. Exercise, eating, and meditation would be the third one in there of the top three things. And actually, exercise was top of the list when I was talking to teachers at Teachers Convention this year. When they were looking at what they could do to feel healthier, exercise was the top thing on that list for them. And to get rid of being tired all the time. So it's one of those things that we know we should do it. And we've all been there. We've all had those wonderful, great intentions and those huge expectations, perhaps. We've bought the gym membership and then, went for a while at the beginning, and then it kind of slowly petered out. And you just feel guilty about how much money you're spending and not going. We've decided to run or made that the goal to run or walk every morning. And it lasts for, 1-2 days, maybe a week or two. But then something always happens to kind of throw us off track. Either it gets rainy out, or we get a cold, or we go on vacation and just we get booted out of our routine. And perhaps sometimes we go at it really hard and we get stiff and sore. And so the gains just don't weigh the pain in our subconscious mind, right? And that's kind of the key to it all. It's a mind game. And how can we trick our mind into making this happen every day? How can we make this into a daily habit, just like brushing our teeth, right? And it's really that important, just like brushing our teeth. We should be doing it every single day. So we have three pillars that we're going to look at today. All right. So three pillars. The first one is using your high moments. And so using our periods of high motivation versus low motivation. And so in Habit Change Theory, we talk about what we do in these different periods. And so when you're filled with the great intentions and you're setting your goal, perhaps it's a nice night before, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this. And then morning comes and there's 100 reasons why you don't go to bed, right? Maybe you had a poor sleep. Maybe the kids were restless, or the dog was restless, or your husband was snoring, or whatever it was. You didn't get a good night's sleep. And it's like, no, I'm not getting up. Or, and actually the truth is, perhaps if you had gotten up the day before and did your exercise, none of those things would have bothered you. And so it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It can work good for you, or it can work negative in that regard. Sometimes you just have those morning second thoughts, right? That, oh, it's cold out. It's too dark. Or, I'm too cozy. All those different things. I'm too dark and cozy is one of my favorites when we go through winter up here in Canada. And my other favorite one is that, selfless self-love, that, oh, everybody else is sleeping so deeply, I don't want to get up and disturb anybody. So I'll just lie here and think about exercise, right? Which doesn't really work as well as actually getting up and doing it. And trust me, I'm the queen of morning excuses. I have used them all. And yeah, when you can lay it on someone else's door, it can be even better sometimes when you have that guilt thing going on. So in Nourish, it's all about, we treat this, these periods of high motivation as prepping, right? So when we have that goal or have that intention, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to do it, we actually get stuff ready. So getting things ready in advance. So we use that high motivation to take action. And then the more you've done that, the more little steps that you've done, the more you've said kind of, yes, I'm going to do this, it's actually tricking our subconscious mind into, oh yeah, we are going to do this. We've already said yes to it once. We're going to follow through. So that's one of those things that works for us. So the second pillar, so using our high motivation to get ourselves organized and prepped and saying yes. The second pillar is support. So the support of a tribe or a group or a club that's got your back and it's doing it with you. And that's key. You want to have not just people that will kind of hold your compatible and pat you on the back, but someone that's in there in the trenches with you. And that's why all those 5 a.m. boot camps work, right? Because they're doing it together. They're in it together. And it might not be your thing to leave the house at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's okay. It's not my thing either. I have way too many excuses why I can't get out of bed for that. And that's not the only way that you can connect with a group, right? In fact, for a lot of us, all of a sudden waking up at 4:30 to go from nothing to the 4:30, the 5 o'clock wake up would be way too big of a stretch. And we'll talk about that for a little bit. We need some small wins to help fuel us onto that. So in Nourish, as a group, we make little successes every day. And so we can be there for each other and cheer each other on. So it's not going to be the huge, all of a sudden we're expected to get up out of bed at an ungodly hour of the morning. We don't have to drive all over town to kind of see and connect with each other, but we're there for each other in different aspects, in different ways. So I want you just to take a moment and look around you, look in your worldview. Is there someone who could hold you accountable and be there with you? So not just holding accountable, but actually be there with you, doing it with you, so that they really understand what you're going through. So that's important to have that piece. And often too, we think of our problems as our problems, right? And once we hear somebody else talking about something similar, it's like, oh, this isn't my problem getting out of bed to do this, or my problem getting motivated. This is a problem. And once we can depersonalize it and make it so it's not unique to us, it is so much easier for us to find a solution with that. Okay, so that's another little trick when you go that. So before we jump into number 3, I just can't hold the suspense any longer. I'm so excited today that we are opening up registration for Nourish, for Club Nourish, which starts here in April. And I've got a few super keeners that are already signed up, which is great. But you can still be one of the early birds if you register in the next 2 days. It's that exclusive. We only have a 2-day sign up. No, early bird registration is 2 days. But it's not an exclusive club. We are priced so everybody can take advantage of it. I'm all about helping everybody, right? That's what the program is all about. I'd love to help each and every one of you. So the early bird discount and the bonus package are a super sweet deal. So you're going to want to check that out. It's together, I think it's over $150 value. So it's pretty sweet. And I'll tell you more about the details in a minute. But let's jump back into our third pillar. So pillar number 1 was our high motivation, right? Using that high motivation to get ourselves organized and taking that first initial baby step. Number 2 is we want to have support. You need that tribe that's going through it with you. And then number 3 is you want to start small. And I've talked about this before on different webinars and so forth, but it's really, really key. And it's why that 5:30 a.m. boot camp doesn't work for everyone. And even though it has that support piece, it's got a great support piece, all of a sudden changing your patterns to waking up so drastically is just too hard of a hurdle for many of us to overcome. It's going to set off a whole bunch of alarm systems in our back and our limbic brain that's going to pull us back into our status quo. And for a couple of reasons why it's hard to make that huge of a change in our day. And 2, when we jump into things that hard, we hurt. We physically are going to hurt, right? We're going to pull some muscles, we're going to strain some muscles, and that's not going to work. All of a sudden, those reasons, those excuses are going to start piling up because we don't feel any better. We might have that extra energy, but there's still things that are dragging us down. And so we're going to use our high motivation, number 1, to get us set up, and set us up so that we don't dive in too fast and burn ourselves out. We don't want to end up feeling worse because we failed and didn't do it, or worse because we strained something and pulled something in our body. All right, so we're going to use that high motivation to plan our success. Set out our gym clothes, our yoga mat, our running shoes, whatever that is. So we're going to make that first step really, really small. It's not even getting out there yet. And then breaking it into smallest possible steps. So say, for example, your goal was to start jogging in the morning, right? Or going for a long walk every morning, whatever that is. So the first thing would be like, okay, just put the shoes out, right? Get the shoes, get the clothes, everything all ready so that you're ready for, check the weather so you know what's going to happen and get that first little step going. And then maybe that's the first day. Maybe the first day you don't even get to bed, it's just everything's ready. Maybe day number 2, you actually get up, you put the shoes on, and you head outside. And maybe you just stroll around the yard or go for a walk around the block. You don't have to make it a 20-minute run the first day. You just want those really small steps. And we're setting it up so that when we finish that, whatever that small step was, we feel confident. We feel that success. And that success then fuels our brain that we can do this, and we'll just keep making smaller and smaller steps. Actually, they get to be bigger and bigger steps, but as we keep making these small little incremental changes, it becomes a nice big achievement over time. And that's what we're going to talk about actually next week on our Facebook Live session, is making those small little deposits in our bank, and how that can help fuel us into making big goals. But sometimes the aspect of figuring out what that small step is tricky, and it can be a little bit hard and challenging. And we don't want to have too many failures in there before we start to feel that success. And so this is what we work at a lot in Club Nourish. We get on the phone together every week, and we just talk about our challenges and what's holding us back from doing what we want to do. And we've got a whole bunch of different healthy habits that we look at, but exercise is definitely one of the key ones. And so we look at and break it down into super small steps. And it's like, okay, well, does that feel doable? Like maybe make it half again. And we just kind of keep breaking it down. And sometimes it's takes somebody else listening to make that work. Because in our minds, like, oh yeah, I can do this. But somebody else will hear that catch in our voice going, you know what? That doesn't sound like you're comfortable with that yet. And so it's really good to have that kind of that extra set of ears kind of listening and tuning in to what our deep down desires are. All right. So, and this is where our super special deal comes in this week and the next couple of days. So I want you to check out Club Nourish, because this is where we actually put all these pieces together for you. We help you with those high motivation periods. We give you that support group, and we break it down into those tiny little steps. And early bird registration is only open for 2 days, so you need to act really fast on that. And with early bird registration, you save $50 off the price of the course, which is pretty good. Plus, you also get the extra special VIP package, which is a book that's written by my mentor. And I'm out in the ski condo right now, so I don't have my book with me. I should have brought it out, I know. So I can't show you that. But you also get this little Nourish blend. So this is a little essential oil blend that I've been working on for the last month. I'm kind of fine-tuning it, and it's all about our adrenals and our deep energy reserve. So this little essential oil blend is one that kind of helps us to recover our energy and to feel energized and to feel deeply nourished. And with that, you also get a special one-on-one call with me again to go through some of the aspects of what your personal challenges are, and a few other little extra goodies in that. So the whole package with that is worth $107. So that's a pretty sweet deal. Yeah, so check out Club Nourish. I encourage you to do that, and we'll get you on track with all of your exercise goals and everything else that's going to help make you feel just amazing and healthy and happy and strong. And then join me next Tuesday again on Facebook Live. So it's going to be 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to meet again. And next Tuesday, it's all about banking for our retirement. So instead of banking money for our retirement, which we all hopefully are doing in one way or shape or other, why are we not banking our energy for retirement? And why are we depleting ourselves instead of nourishing ourselves and adding that in? So we're going to talk about different ways we can do that, and how these small little actions that we do every day can grow into huge goals and huge accomplishments. So I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, and check out Club Nourish. I'd love to have you in there. Bye-bye.